So, good evening, children. Welcome to the second year economics class. So, today we are going to discuss about the intermediate second year second lesson demography. In that demography, we are going to discuss about the topic population explosion. So, today our topic is population explosion. So, before that to discuss about that, let us discuss first about the concept of population explosion, concept and the meaning of population explosion. So, this concept of population explosion, the first person who brought this principle of population explosion was by the name Thomas Robert Malthus. What was his name, children? Thomas Robert Malthus. Malthusian theory also we say this one. So, this was the first person, Malthus, who explained the principle of population. He wrote one book in the year 1798. He wrote a book in a year 1798 by the name An Essay on the Principles of Population. What was the name, children? An Essay on the Principles of Population. In his book, he mentioned about population explosion. So what he mentioned, Malthus or Malthusian principle, what it explains about the population. So he explains about the population that it is nothing but a relationship between a food supply and the growth of population. What is, children? He explains it's the relationship between the growth of food supply and population. I hope it is clear. Actually, what he mentioned that if with the increase in the population, the food supply growth also increase, then it is balanced. So there is no problem to the economy of the country. But if population goes on increasing, then the production of food, then it is mismatching. It is not matching. More people but less food production. It leads to the population explosion. Is it clear? What does it mean, children? If population goes on increasing, then the increase in the food supply, it leads to the population explosion. And with this population explosion, there are a number of problems are also related. Now you are in intermediate second year. You know very well what are the problems that are associated with the increase in population. The problems like, the first problem, here only in the definition, in this concept only we come to know. The first problem is food problem. Are you accepting this one? Food problem. As the population goes on increasing, children, take the example of our India. As the population goes on increasing, the land where we are living, the land where we are doing the cultivation, do you find the size of the land also increase with the increase in population? No. The land remains the same, but population is going on increasing. With this increase in the population, there is an increased demand for food. So, it is a major problem. Population explosion leads to the problem like food shortage of food. Difficult for the government to provide food to ever increase population. This is the first problem. I hope it is clear, children. What are the problems? Besides the food problem, what are the other problems that we find because of the increase in the population? What are the other problems are there, children, with the increase in the population? So, the first problem is food problem. The problem of food. With the increase in the problem of the food, what are the other things? There are the very less chances for job. So, the next problem that it comes because of the increase in population is unemployment. Second problem is unemployment, no job, because it is very difficult, children, to get the job with the ever increase in population. Unemployment problem. Number third, what is the third problem that are associated, link with the unemployment? That is the problem of poverty. The problem of poverty, poorness. person becomes poor. If a person is not having job, person becomes more poorer and poorer. That is the third one. What else? What are the other problems that we find because of the increase in population? The fourth one we can say as inequality. The fourth one is inequality is the fourth problem that are associated with the increase in population. What is inequality? Inequality in many cases. Inequality we can find in the society, in among the people, like rich and poor. The differences it increase a lot. There is a lot of gap between the rich and the poor. That is inequality. Rich are going on enjoying all the luxuries, where the poor are even not getting the food for 3 times or at least for 1 time children. The inequality of income, inequality of the use of the resources, like that there are many inequalities exist in the society. So these are the problems, children, that emerge. There are many other problems are there, children, like housing problem, like water supply problem, like other facilities problem, children. It is very difficult to provide to the ever increased population. So in this topic, we are going to discuss now about the causes of population explosion. What are the reasons for the increase of population in the country like India especially? Okay, so our first one is the reason for the population explosion. So now let us discuss about the causes of the population explosion. Causes of population explosion. So children, this is a very important question from the examination point of view. In every year, alternate years, one or the other time, this question is asked, children, for the 10 marks question. Causes of population explosion. So the first, there are 3 causes are there for the population explosion. That is the decline in death rate, that is decrease in death rate, high birth rate and immigration. So one by one we will discuss about all these things. So first about the decline in death rate. It's a very common things, children. Then decline in how the death rates are under control. So the first one is elimination of famines. First one is elimination of famines. So these are all the subtopics under the decline in death rates. Elimination of famines. Famine. What is famine? Famine is a drought condition. Famine is a drought condition where we find no rains, no proper rains for the in that particular year. No water supply for irrigation purpose. Because of that, the land become dry. As you people very well, you know about the agriculture. When there is no facility of water for the agricultural land, you know how the land becomes dry and some cracks are also appeared, and we cannot imagine a very good cultivation for that particular time. So the same thing before independence. What happened, children? Before independence, we find that famines occur, means drought occur now and then. But the Britishers, they did not take any proper measure to control the famines. Okay. But after the independence, what we find, these famines are removed, eliminated, means removal of this what we call drought condition in the country. So after the independence, government had taken number of measures, number of policies. Because of that, the farmers, they depend not only on the rain for water, but now they are having the facility to get the water from the canals, from the other irrigation sources like wells, tube wells and the other one. Okay, so that is the number of sources are created by the government. Okay, so that is the elimination of famines. Famines are under control. So in those days, because of famine, because of no water, there was a food problem. Because of the food problem, number of people, they used to die hunger, starved death. We call it as a starved death. The people who died because of hunger, because of no food, we call that one as a starved death. But after that, when the water facilities were provided to the farmers by the government in the various ways, then what happened, children? The land is giving a very good cultivation. So proper supply of food is possible after the independence, and because of that the famines are under control and there is no shortage of food. No shortage of food means no starved death. Deaths are under control. That is the elimination of famines. Second one, control of epidemics. Epidemics means the dangerous diseases. Once upon a time, India was suffering, not only India, the world was suffering with the problem of epidemics. That means the diseases, because of that, the person may die. Like for example, smallpox. Once upon a time, it was a very dangerous disease, but now the smallpox is completely eradicated, completely removed. Then cholera, malaria, plague. Plague is also eradicated. Plague means a disease that occurred, that caused because of the rats. Malaria, it is under control. Tuberculosis, TB, it is under control. Even now, children, we can say that some of the dangerous diseases, what we can say nowadays, the people, they got fear in those days, like cancer. Now there is a treatment for the cancer also by the help of chemotherapy. So now what we can find that there are a number of what you call medical facilities, medicinal facilities are available for the people to save their lives. Okay, and because of that, the death rates are decreased. That is control of epidemics. Next one, other factors. What are the other factors? Because of that, the death rates are decreased. So other factors like supply of drinking water. You are very well aware of the government policy. Government, after the independence, children, it did its best and still it is doing its best to provide the supply of drinking water facilities. Okay, so the government is taking each and every step to provide the safe drinking water to the people by the various methods. And nowadays, you know that in our district also you can find that because of this government, we find that the supply of the drinking water daily by the municipality. So the safe supply of drinking water is provided by the government. As you all know that the water is playing a very important role. Suppose if water is contaminated, if water is not pure, we may get number of diseases, especially the diseases that are related to the liver, like jaundice. Okay, like that many diseases are there that we may suffer because of not proper drinking water. But now that problem is not there. There is a proper supply of drinking water is provided by the government. Next one, sanitation and hygiene. Children, at the time of independence, we found that there were a number of families were there in our country where the proper sanitation facilities were not provided. What is sanitation? It is nothing but, children, especially we can say that the washroom facilities in homes. Okay, so the proper sanitation facilities were not there. So people, they used to go for the washroom in a open area. And because of that, what happened, children? Number of diseases spread because of that problem. But now we find that people are aware, they know very well what is good, what is bad, and because of that the problem is under control. And most of the families we find, especially in the villages also, we find that the washroom facilities are available at home. Hygiene, neatness. Now each and every one of us, we are aware of the importance of neatness because we want to save our life. So we know the importance of neatness. Now everyone, they are aware of that one. That is also helpful for the decrease of death rates. Next one is spread of education. What do you think? Whether this reason is linked with the decline in death rate? Yes. Before that, we were highly uneducated. Our ancestors were uneducated. They didn't know about what is good or what is bad. But now, because of the education, now a child, when the child starts going to the school, in every class the child is learning the different things related to the health. It's not that everyone we have to turn as a doctor, but at least we are literate. At least we have some knowledge that how to make ourselves neat, how to make ourselves safe from one or the diseases. What are the things? For example, you all know that if we get a fever, we know that we have to take just a paracetamol tablet. That means we are, this much literacy we are having, that what tablet we have to take. If you are getting some pains, we know that which tablet we have to take. That means the education is playing a very important role to decrease the death rates in the country. What is good, what we have to eat, what we do not eat, what we should not eat, children, what is a good oil for cooking, what is good for the health, which fruit is good, which food is good, what is nutritious food, what are the foods in which food more calories are there. Nowadays, everyone talking about this one only, isn't it? For example, now recently the corona pandemic situation, everyone we suffered. Still the world is suffering. We are also suffering. But now this corona, it gave us a lesson that what we have to eat, what is good for our health, how can we protect ourselves from this dangerous disease, because of education. Okay. Next one is medical facilities. There are a lot of medical facilities are provided, children. Lot of medical facilities are provided to save the lives of the people. Just now I said that even the dangerous diseases are under control because of this medical facilities. Now we are able to save the lives of the people in any dangerous situation, in any dangerous accidents also. That is medical facilities. Immunization. What is immunization? You heard this word already. Immunization. What is immunization, children? Do you know anything about it? Children, immunization, even you people also had gone through this immunization process for you. You know, when as soon as a child takes birth, you had, I think you observed when in your near and dear or in your families, where as soon as when the child takes birth, immediately the elders, they take the child to the doctors. Doctors do some checkup and then doctors give some immunization, some injections. Okay. And what is this immunization? It is nothing but, children, to increase the immunity power. Immunity power. To increase the power of a child to fight against the diseases. That is immunization. So you know that from the childhood level, we start getting the immunization, different injections, children, for the various diseases. Even I think you heard about the polio drops. That is also one of the immunization. Why we are taking all these things? Because to save ourselves from the diseases and to strengthen our body, immunity, increase the immunity, strength of the body. These programs are there. Poverty eradication program. Poverty, poorness. As already I told you that this is one of the main reason behind deaths. If a person is poor, he is unable to get good food. He is unable to go to hospital for the medicines. He is unable to live in a very proper hygienic condition, live in a very good house, live in a good hygienic condition with all sanitation facilities, with good drinking water, etc. This is not possible because he is poor. And because of that, the person may die soon. You know, children, our life, our age depends on our health. And health depends on our food, water and the other things. And these things are not available to us. We may die. But government introduced number of poverty eradication. Eradication means removal program. Like by providing the various job opportunities to the poor people, by giving them some loans, by financing them, by helping them, by some of the policies. In this way what happened, number of people are getting benefits. And that is enough for them to save their lives from the death. So these are the reasons, children, that are linked with the decline in death rate. Children, this is a 10 marks question. And all these things you have to explain in the examination. All these three, under this, all the subheadings you have to explain. Otherwise, you will not get 10 marks in the examination. I hope this is clear to all of you. That is a decline in death rate. Okay, what is our next topic? Next topic is high birth rate. So let us discuss about the high birth rate. So our next topic is high birth rate, children. High birth rate. Okay, so what are the reasons for the high birth rate in our country? So there are two factors are there, children, that are responsible for the high birth rate in the country. What are the two factors? One is economic factor and other is social factor. So let us discuss first about the economic factors. What are the economic factors that we find that are responsible for the high birth rate? The first one is predominance of agriculture. What is the first one? Predominance of agriculture. Predominance means agriculture is dominating in the economy, where we find majority of the population, they depend on agriculture directly or indirectly. That means they are not depending on industry for survival. They are not depending on service sector for survival. But major people, they are depending only on agriculture. Then the question comes, how we can feel that the agriculture, predominance of agriculture is the main reason behind this increase in the high birth rate or the high birth rate. Children, in an agrarian society like India, what is agrarian? Agrarian, it means agriculture society. In an agriculture society, I already explained in my previous lessons to you that the families are poor. Most of the families are very poor, and it is very difficult for them to hire the laborers from outside because maintenance of labor is very high, paying him the salary and the other maintenance. So what the people they are doing? So people, what they do, they feel that if they have more number of children in their family, so these children can turn as the laborers also in the fields. In their own fields they can work instead of laborers. And they can save the money because if they hire labor, they have to pay salary. But if their own children are working, no need to pay salary. Okay, so they feel that more children is an asset. More children is an asset for them. It is boon for them, for the family. Because at the time of sowing of seeds, number of people are employed that they sow the seeds and the other. And at the time of cutting of the crops also, we require more number of laborers. And if those works are done by the own children, so no need to hire any laborers and we can save the income. So this we can say that the main reason behind the high birth rate, people they feel that if they have the more number of children in the family, more number of hands will be there to earn. More number of hands will be there to work. In agricultural time, agricultural work. In other time, the other works. That is a predominance. Second one is urbanization. In India, urbanization process is very slow. What is urbanization? Shifting of the population from village areas to the urban areas for the sake of jobs. Children, if the people they start migrating, if the people they start moving from the village to the urban areas, so what happened in urban areas? By seeing the expenditure, high expenditure of the cities, automatically they restrict the size of the family. They feel that the children are not boon, children are not benefit for them, but children are burden for them. More number of children are burden for them to take care of the children's health, education, transportation, maintaining a house with high rent and all the other facilities. That automatically change the minds of the people towards the small size family. Okay, but this thing is absent. This thing is not there in our society. We find that urbanization is very slow. Still more number of people are living in the villages. Okay, third one is poverty. Just now I explained you how the poverty is the main reason for the high birth rate. If people are poor, they feel that instead of only 2 members are working in a family, they feel that if more number of children will be there in the family, more hands will be there to earn. More earners will be there in the family. So they feel that children are the asset. So these are the reasons that are related to money. These are the reasons that are related to money, children. That comes under the economic factors. Predominance of agriculture, urbanization and poverty. I hope it is clear to you. So after this one, children, what are the other one? I hope this topic is clear to all of you. So after this one, we have the next factor, the second factor, that is social factor. What is the next factor, children, with us? That is the social factor. So let us discuss about the social factor. The first factor is universalization of marriage. The first factor is universalization of marriage. The second factor is lower age at the time of marriage. Lower age at the time of marriage is the second one. The third one, religious and social superstitions. Third one is religious and social superstitions. Superstitions, religious and the social superstitions. Joint family system. Joint family system. Lack of education. Lack of Education is the main, followed by the last one is use of contraceptives. Use of contraceptives. So let us discuss one by one about all these social factors. So what are the social factors, children? First one is universalization, means these are the factors that are related to the society. Economic factors are the factors that are related to money. Society, social factors. Universalization of marriage. Coming to India. India is a traditional country. We follow all the customs and the traditions. That is very good. But one of the thing is that we think a lot about comparing to about ourselves. We feel a lot about our society. We think a lot. We worry about the society. And the first worry is universalization. In India, it is made that compulsory marriages should be done. Okay, marriage is a necessity in India according to the social factor. That means compulsory, a person should go with this marriage, should go under the marriage ceremony. The person should marry. If a person is not showing any interest towards a marriage or delay in the marriage, so what happened? The people starts gossiping that the particular person is not bothering about the children's marriage. The particular person is not bothered about the girl's marriage or the family. The society, they think a lot for all the others. And even the families, they think, they fear about the society. And they made this one as a compulsion one. The compulsory marriage should be there. No person should believe in the society without marriage. And if marriages will be there, children, if it is made as a compulsion, we can think that number of children takes birth children. So universalization is one of the reason. If marriage is compulsory, definitely more births will be there. So this universalization of marriage should be stopped. Otherwise, it leads to high birth rates. First one. Second one, lower age at the time of marriage. As you all know that. And most of you know about the villages of our India. We find that as soon as in the olden days, if you go with the olden days, in some of the customs and traditions were there, even we heard that child marriages were the very common thing was there. So second one, children, it is about the lower age at the time of marriage. We find that the child marriages are very common in the country. Child marriages, even we have the studies shows that in India, even the child got married at the time of the birth. The parents, they used to carry the child in their laps and they used to perform the marriage ceremony. Even the girl and the boy, whose marriages were performing, they even didn't know about what was going on. So afterwards, number of rules and regulations, policies were passed. But even though today in Indian society, we find that the marriage of the girl child, the age of the marriage of the girl child is still low. Now, day by day, what we find, it's increased because of some of the social reformers. The ages are increased, but still now and then we can hear, we can read, we can listen the news that the child marriages in the country. So the child marriages, we can find the girl is marrying still in some of the villages at the age of 15, at the age of 16, at the age of 17, 18, and so on. Now you have asked the question, what will happen in the girl marriage at the early age? Children, the fertility rate of a girl or a woman, it starts from the 13 years of age. Fertility rate. Fertility means that the ability to bear a child. Capability to bear a child. You know that the girl gets matured at the age of 13 or 14 or 15. From that time till 45 years of age, according to the research, the fertility rate among the women are very high. That means they are able to bear the girl. They are able to give the birth. So if a girl gets married at an early age, we can find that from that age till 45 years of age, number of children are going on taking birth because they are not having, most of the people are lacking education. And that anyhow, that creates a problem to the health of the girl. But with the same, we find that it is one of the reason for the increase in population. So lower age at the time of marriage increase the high fertility rate, increase the chances of more children birth. Okay, among the young couples. Okay, next one is religious and social superstitions. Religious and social superstition. What is a religious superstition? I already explained you what is a religious superstition, beliefs, children. That a son can perform number of rituals. So religious and social superstition, as you all know that, we people will believe a lot about our customs and traditions. It's very good that we have to follow our customs and traditions, but the people, children, what they do that, they they add some of the things to on the name of the religion, to the society. Like for example, children, it is you can find that it is believed in the society that compulsory in a family a son should be there. A male child should be there in the society. Why? To perform all the rituals when the parents are alive. Okay? And when the parents are died, so the last rite will be performed only by the son. Even the parents feel that a son should be there to take care of their property. What are the property they are going to leave in this world? Son will take care of the property. Okay, so like that, there are a number of things are there that stops a person to restrict their family. Suppose for example, in a family, girls are going on taking births. So due to the lack of education, what the people they feel that no, compulsory, we want son for one or the other thing. So on the hope of the son, the parents they go on giving births to the number of girls, and at last after 5 to 6 girls, a son born to that family. So now at that time we find that the family suffers a lot economically because unable to maintain the expenditure of these many persons in the family. So that religious beliefs, that social belief make the increase in the birth rate, cause for the high birth rate. Next one, joint family system. What do you feel, children? Joint family system. Children, this is a very good family system that we can find. We can find especially in our India, where all the members of the family, they live together. Joint family system. But now here we are taking this joint family system as one of the reason for the increase of the high birth rate. How? Children, in a joint family system, the elders of the family, they won't allow the children to leave the family and to settle as a nuclear family. Number one, they force the young couples to go for the children because their expenditure will be borne by the other earners of the family, the other elders. They they make them to feel that if they go on giving the birth, the other members of the family will take care in case of medical, in case of health, in case of education. So we can say that some of the time this type of joint families is is proving and giving some wrong notion to the young couples, and they force the young couples to go on giving birth to the number of children. So that is also termed as one of the reason. Lack of education. Next one is lack of education. Lack of education, no education. Children, you know very well, if any person who is educated, the person takes the correct decision relates to the person's life, and also decisions relate to the other family members. And that too, children, if a mother is educated in the family, mother takes all the decisions. That first of all, the mother takes the decision that how many children should be there in the family. Okay, mother controls the birth of the family. Mother or father, if they are educated, they think about the family planning. They think about the economic conditions. They think about in both the condition, if they have the big family, large family, if they have the small family, the consequences also they understand, and they take the correct decisions, children. So now that is missing in most of the country. Already remember I told you 2011 census. What is our literacy rate of our India? It is 74%. That means still 26% of the people are illiterate in our country. Where they can take all such decisions then? Again, they feel that more number of children, more earners, more job people in the family, and that results for the high birth rate. Last one is the use of contraceptives. Contraceptives. Children, contraceptives are nothing but these are the medicines by the help of that the young couples can stop their children. They can, by giving in the birth, they can maintain some gaps in the children, maybe in the form of some tablets, in the form of some injections, in the form of some medical facilities, children. But if the people are uneducated, how they come to know about the use of contraceptives? Okay, they never think about the family planning. So this all turn as children as a reason for the increase in the high birth rate. Birth rates are going on increasing in our country. Because of this high birth rate, the problem of population explosion is there in the country. I hope it is clear, children. Social factors. Third factor is immigration. Immigration, it means the movement of the people from one place to other place, either local, either national level, or either international level. For the sake of employment opportunities, better opportunities, people, they move from one place to other place. That we call as immigration. Either local migration, either national migration, or the international migration. Because of this migration, we find that the population also increase. With the people, more number of people, they move from the villages to the city, we find that more number of population will be there in the city area. Increase in the more population creates a problem in the city for the deficiency of resources. City people, they suffer a lot for the lack of resources. So these are all, children, are the causes of population explosion. Is it clear? And I told you that this is a very important question for 10 marks. So causes of population explosion. I hope it is very clear. So our next class will be about the remedies to control the population explosion. How we can control the population explosion. Okay, children? By the time, thank you, children.